Greetings YouTube, Skill Incarnate, the crazy goat man from Australia. Today we're continuing my playthrough of the survival crafting game Subterrain. In our last episode we escaped from the Mars prison. Our doctor is well weighed down with a lot of useful items. We just pretty much stole everything that wasn't bolted down. We made our way to this area here, which is the central base of the Mars colony. From here we should hopefully be able to establish a home base, but I have no idea what waits for us through these doors. It'll either be empty, I imagine, or completely infested. So let's crack in here and see what we've got to find. Everything looks promising so far. Okay, this looks like our generator room. Oxygen canister. Wes can recharge his currently equipped oxygen canister by using the oxygen recharges found throughout the Mars colony. Oxygen canisters are upgradable through research. Well, I don't have any of these yet. Temperature canister. Okay, much the same. Temperature thermal canisters by using the thermal recharges found throughout the Mars colony. Thermal canisters are upgradable through research. So going by the video, we have to find these canisters in areas of Mars that are somewhat less hospitable. Oh, this looks promising. Beacons can be thrown from the inventory or hotbar. Once on the ground, they can be interacted with to customize their color information. Notes can be written in the text field to mark points of interest. Beacons and their color are shown on this Mars map. And the beacon notes can be read by hovering the cursor over the icon. Picking up a beacon clears any notes saved on it. So that would be useful, but I don't think we need them here. This looks like our central base, and it does look, without risking too much, I'd say this place is pretty safely abandoned. Wes can perform limited repairs on some weapons, suits, and generator modules using the nano reconstruction facility. This is limited to 50% of the original durability of the item unless the software is upgraded. Initially, the nano reconstruction facility can repair 2 items at the same time. So this is essentially our, I wouldn't say our crafting bench, but our repair bench. Okay, so that's the research software. And I think what we have to do is actually find better versions of the software, which will actually improve the hardware. The nano reconstruction bay can slowly restore item durability by using advanced nanotechnology. So it can repair 2 things at the same time. What I might do first is repair my prison armor, or prison suit. And that should fix it up a little bit. Now, this is actually can't be repaired anymore. Let's have a look at what else we have. Can we repair anything else? The pistol's actually in pretty good shape. I don't think we can repair it any further. No, we can't. So there's nothing else in here that we can actually use. So let's move on. Let's see if our armor's fixed. It is. Beautiful. There we go. So at least now we can repair our weapons and armor. And this looks like it's the temperature regulator. Wes can replace the regulator in the temperature regulator to restore the temperature to a normal level. Restoring the temperature level has an impact on the infection rate and evolution speed, as well as allowing Wes to stay warm without the aid of thermal canisters. Thermal regulators are upgradable via research. Okay, so this is a very important discovery we have here. It appears that these thermal regulators actually will heat the areas of the colony. And we've actually got a broken one here, so I definitely want to pinch one of these. And pinch one of these as well, because it looks like we can research it. So very useful to know. I'm going to close these doors behind us. Okay, so these are all remote terminals. I need to use the controls at Nielsen. So Nielsen must be the research bay. The research arm of the colony. It appears that we cannot use anything from here at the moment. I can't put anything in here. No. So none of the items are currently usable from here. Yep. Okay, so we've got some useful stuff here. But I'm going to hazard a guess and say that this is going to be our home base. And we actually want to be moving stuff back to this base, not from it. So let's, we're just going to have a look around and see what stuff is available. This looks like an office, and it could be a nice spot for us to have a sleep. Hello, armory. SMG, shotgun, pistol, knife, and a baton. Much the same. So we've got quite a little collection. Oh, here we go. Take that. Quite a collection of armaments here. More junk. And a crowbar. So we're looking good. PTC. That's junk. So this looks like a good area. We might leave that because that could be our armory per se. Let's have a look up to the north. We'll come back to these offices in a bit. Oh, now this looks interesting. This looks like our kind of our storage area. Yeah, it is. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is anything I'm not sure of what it does, I'm going to dump into these. So teeth, blood samples, pistons, torn shirt, doll. These look like anything that can be broken down and it can't be researched and it can't be used is going to go in this room. Okay, empty bottle, towels. These are all just rubbish that I picked up from our previous episode. And this look, oh, a beacon, better take that. Yep, this is all recyclable, the whole lot. Let's just check the other cases. So this is all recyclable, all stuff. It looks like it's just like a giant garbage dump. So let's use it as its intended purpose, and just get all this junk out of our inventory. We can always come back here later on. That's what's important right now. Yep, more rubbish, more rubbish, more rubbish. Take the key cards. More rubbish. Just move that. Oh, muscle max. Better take that. I can't seem to move that. That's okay. Screwdriver. Okay. So let's get out of here. This is going to be a really good spot once I actually work out what to do with all the junk I've been picking up. I've got, as you can see, I've got 10 tons of the stuff. That's locked for me at the moment. So at least I've got a storage spot. So that's just going to be my dump crap spot. I'll take that as well. No, we won't drink that yet. Okay, so that's this is all food. So what we might do is I'm just going to take the rubbish, and all the stuff that's actually food I'll leave here. Yep. Alright, so this is the kitchen area, so it makes sense to leave things where they are. Like that. This looks like another living area. More rubbish. Some power control room. Now that looks like that's a key card to the room that we were locked out of to the north. So we might actually go and check that out again. But we'll fill up all the rubbish here. all this garbage that we've been picking up will all go in. I'll just dump them all into that room. Nobody's home. It looks like there's nobody living here or otherwise. Everyone seems to have evacuated, and whoever did this isn't around either. I guess this place is safe for now. I may set up my base camp here. It would be a good place to stage my escape. Fortunately for me, most of the important facilities for MPO are within walking distance of central control. I don't even need to power up those sections to reach them. I probably should reboot the 3D printer. Nice, we've got a 3D printer. And other facilities at Nielsen Engineering. Maybe even print out some supplies I need. Herbert Research, where I used to work, has research equipment. I could use these to feed instructions to the system in Nielsen. I'll probably have to use the excavator at the mine to gather materials for the 3D printer. I should also check out the biosphere. I should probably use the agricultural systems there to supply the biocombiner at Nielsen Engineering. Maybe even sustain myself. So there are 4 things here that we need to do. We need to get to the engineering bay to build ourselves some weapons and supplies. We need to get to the research bay to research items. We had to get to the mine to gather some materials, and then we have to check out the biosphere to get food. Now, my common sense is telling me that we should hit up the research bay first, because the research bay will probably have the longest time involved, because we'll have to wait for it to research stuff. So, ooh, standard colonist suit. Very nice. We'll have that. And a watch. Okay. Oh wow! And this looks like a storage crate with a lot of nice medical supplies, which we've actually got a little bit of. So we'll leave this where it is, because this is actually probably going to be our sleeping quarters. I'm not going to mess with things for now. What I am going to do is I'm going to go to the train. I'm going to grab all the rubbish off the train. Because as you recall, I half-inched a lot of stuff in the last episode. And again, I really don't know what a lot of this stuff does. I know it breaks down into breaks down into resources. I've gone dyslexic, but I don't know what the resources are and what we're going to need, how much of each resource. So this is just going to be our dumping area. Ladles, forks, necklaces, all this stuff. Anything that has a recycle yield, I think is pretty safe to say we're going to have to break it down. That's all stuff there. Key cards we need. I'll keep the medical supplies. And we don't need... Yeah, no, we'll chuck the stuff that I'm not 100% sure what we can do with. I'll throw it down to these chests at the very bottom here. I am getting a bit hungry. So we're going to... Here we go. So we don't need... The knife I'm not sure what to do with. I've got a crowbar. But I think I can carry 3 weapons, so... yeah, I'll take the baton as well. I'll take that. Bags and power packs. I'd better keep the food and water. Might need it. So we've got. I'd better take a gun with me. Just going to fill up all of our power packs. I think if I'm careful though, I should be able to just take 1 with me. Okay. Because we really don't want to, we don't want to weigh ourselves down too much. Beacon, power pack. I better keep that light stick, it could be useful. Chuck the flashlight as well. Okay, so we've got everything thrown away. I'll keep the medical supplies, because I don't know, I could get king hit by someone. Our next goal is to get ourselves, I think the best bet is to check the research bay. Oh, here we go, control room. This has got to be the power control console. As usual, there is no one here either. I should be able to control the flow of power for the colony from here, as well as monitor the generator's current status. The generator is not operating at full capacity, so I should be careful when connecting additional sectors to the power grid. I could overload the reactor if I draw too much power. If I do, it'll overheat and probably initiate emergency shutdown. That would be bad. I can end up stranded if I'm not careful, and what's worse, working oxygen filters and temperature regulators can't function without power. A blackout means certain death as far as I'm concerned. I can't just sit here though. I have to power up other locations to gather supplies and information if I want to get out of here. There's a lot of consoles around here. If I search them, I might be able to find some information. So, oh, here we go. So there's the key card to the research bay and to the engineering bay. Probably, as I said, the research bay makes the most sense right now. So, duplicate keys. Power console update. Dr. Can, I managed to figure this out. Using the data you got from Dr. Raskowitz, I came up with a user interface modification so we can calculate the rate of infection from a glance. It's really simplified, but it'll get the job done. First off, we've managed to tap into each district's bioscanners. Thankfully, these are subsystems that are directly powered by the generator, so we won't have to worry about keeping observed locations powered. Each district's infection level is calculated by density. The more there are, the higher the percentage. Once I find out a better way to calculate population, I'll patch it in, but for now, I just need to set up a high threshold. If a district is above 80%, I'd steer clear of it. I don't even want to think about what 100% would look like. The next thing I've added to the UI is infection rate. Dr. Raskowitz, of all people, was right all along. Low oxygen levels and cold temperatures speed up the rate at which the infection spreads. The infection rate readout will monitor temperature and oxygen levels and factor that into the estimated rate of growth. Once you get those prototype filters and regulators, this system is prepared to measure the suppression effect and factor it into the calculations. I don't get any of this, Dr. Can. I mean, I punched in the data you gave me, but can you explain what's going on in a way I can frigging understand? What's the correlation here? Screw it, I heard the evacuation announcement. It's just a matter of time before I'm allowed to get the hell out of here and forget about all this, so I'd rather not know how crappy the situation is. It'd be better to be oblivious if the situation is as bad as security claims it is. So ironically, things aren't looking too bad, at least here. The power console can be used to connect and disconnect the power from central control to other locations on Mars. The generator has limited output capacity. It can be expanded with upgrades. The generator will overheat if West uses more power than it can produce. When it begins to overheat, a countdown will appear. Once the countdown finishes, the generator will shut down, causing a colony-wide blackout. Trams won't run without power, so don't get stuck. So what we're going to do is we're going to explore the regions one at a time. We'll turn power on to the research facility first. Keep this recording on so you can remember what you need to do. I knew you couldn't find much at the Space Center, but don't lose hope. We don't have spacesuits, so I need you to avoid all the areas where life support is down. Central Cluster seems to be okay, so I want you to take the train there. Head over to the mine and gather some supplies. You wouldn't believe the stuff they have in storage over there. You might be able to find some food in the break room if it hasn't been raided. Grab whatever you can find and head back here so we can get out of it before whatever those were get you. For the love of God, don't get distracted. Don't run off to the plaza for choco pies or anything else. It's the last thing I'll be trying to do in an apocalypse. I'm counting on you, damn it. If it was Krispy Kreme donuts, then maybe. Get what you can from the mine, then head back here. Got it? No choco pies, that's an order. Don't forget the keycard, the only way to open the Space Center, the security door, and the only way back in. We need to try and keep those things out, and this is the only way. Don't lose it. So I obviously need to find a copy of this key. There's a keycard for the generator. So half my inventory is full of keycards. Okay, that's the way there. I found my way into the reactor for the colony. This power plant is one of humanity's most remarkable achievements. It's an inertia drive. Inertia drives run almost endlessly via a core inertia engine. While it doesn't generate quite as much energy as fusion-based technology, what it produces is clean, reliable, and endless. Without it, MPO would never have been found in the first place. The guy who designed this thing must have been inspired. I still hardly understand how it works. What I can understand, though, is that it's been damaged somehow. I can't tell by looking at it, but the generator's status report readout indicates that it's losing capacity at a constant rate. I don't think I'll be able to fix this. It looks like the generator's reactor modules are burning out due to the damage. The generator must have at least one operational module installed to prevent a meltdown. I might be able to find some spare modules around here, but I could plan on taking a call to Herbert Research. Once there, I can see if the research machines can create a schematic that can be used to produce much more in Nielsen engineering. So as you can see, our obvious first location that we want to head to is this Herbert Research, because we can't build anything until we've researched something. If the power draw exceeds the generator capacity, the generator is sure to fail. It should be okay for a while, but I need to figure how to offset this. If I don't, it won't be long before there's only enough power for central control. So while this is abandoned, we have a little bit of a problem because these reactor modules are broken. So I need to see if there are some that aren't broken. That looks okay. The generator's capacity is determined by the generator's reactor modules. Generator modules degrade slowly over time, and mutants will try to destroy the generator modules during invasions. If all modules are destroyed, a meltdown is triggered, destroying the generator in the process. Generator reactor modules are upgradable through research and can be repaired to some degree. West must defend the generator at all costs. So, as if our life wasn't hard enough, and that generator is absolutely deafening, so I'm going to go over here. As if our life wasn't hard enough, we literally have all of these generator, I suppose fuel cells is the best way to describe them, and they can also be destroyed. And it looks like at least these fuel cells are in pretty good shape. While I was exploring the generator, I found hallways branching off in all directions. It seems containers of radioactive material have been spilled. I shouldn't get any closer, or finding my way out of there will be the least of my problems. It's somewhat unsettling that all three hallways have had the same accident. Whatever the case, the hallways leave the generator vulnerable. There's no doors to close off, should something come down this way. Let's just grab that. Oh, and there's a spare reactor module. So I might actually take that with me. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, we'll stay away from that. So it appears that this room is pretty much the central power for the whole base. And when these little modules here break down, then we're going to have to replace them. So that's going to be fun. I don't know what this is. Ah, this is another nano reconstruction bay. So I wonder if I can... Okay, that's actually complete. That's a fully repaired unit. Okay, so that's just... It looks like we can get security turrets as well. So I've got a thermal canister here somewhere. I'm sure I did. There it is. So the thermal canister is going to allow us to survive in extreme cold. So we've now explored the entirety of the base. Let's get the rest of the stuff put away. And I think there we go, watch. We don't need that. Alright. So I appear to have caught a little bit of contamination by venturing a little bit too close to that radiation. So I'd better find myself some decontamination. I've got decontamination pills, but I've only got one. I definitely don't want to use my only decontamination pill. So what we're going to do is, in here, I'm going to dump the stuff that I would like to research, which will be this oxygen filter. I can't pronounce oxygen filter. We'll throw our duplicate cards in here as well. Our reactor module. And our colonist suit. And we'll chuck our power pack. Okay. So now that we've explored Central, our next goal will be to search in the research bay, the research wing. Here we go, Herbert Research. I'm lucky. On top of avoiding the infected, I've also been fortunate enough not to die from suffocation or hypothermia. That may change quickly if I'm not prepared. The power console indicated the oxygen filters and thermal regulators are offline for most of the colony, so I'll need to find some oxygen and thermal canisters if I'm going to access those areas safely. Once I find some, I can charge them using recharging stations. I should also try and fix the oxygen generators and thermal regulators wherever I can. Once I do, I'll be able to breathe or keep warm without the need for canisters. So, here we go. Grab all those. So what that means is I need to be down there very quick, get what I need, and get out before I freeze to death. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm going to equip my other canister, the oxygen canister. Okay. And we're now pretty well set to do what we need to do. Now my character is a bit hungry, and I think we did pick up a really big tin of food. There we go. So the roast beef gives 70 hunger. Minus 70 hunger, and we're at 75 hunger. Let's smash that down. And as you can see, our hunger's rapidly falling. The next thing we'll need to do is probably catch a bit of sleep. And we'll do that now. And this should be safe. What we'll do, I don't know if I can get attacked in my sleep, so let's make it a bit hard for them to get me. There we go. And then I can just drag that out when I need to leave the room. All right. Oh, I've got to take a dump. Okay. Eloquently said, sir. You are a warrior and a poet. I hope this is the toilet, because it's the only room I haven't explored. Oh, here we go. Oh, and it's censored him going to the toilet. Stay classy, West. Stay classy. Alright, so now that we've taken care of all of his needs, let's have a bit of a snooze. And we'll wait till our fatigue gets down to about 10. That'll do. And we're good to go. So what we've done in this episode is we've explored the central station. I know it's been a bit boring, but we did need to have a look around here and see where everything was at. So as far as I understand it, we have our oxygen, our power, and our thermal recharge stations here. I have no idea what this does, this material storage unit. I imagine, if I had to have a guess, I would say it's where we recycle items. These are all remote bays, as you can see, remote terminals. So I assume we need to go to the engineering bay to actually turn these on to make them useful. Over here we have our repair bay, which we use to repair our prison suit that we're wearing. And finally we have the power up here. So in our next episode, we'll begin to explore the research bay. And to do that, we're going to have to turn the power on. So let's do that very quickly now. Nielsen Engineering? No, Herbert Research. Turn him on. Connected. Okay. So we can go down to the research bay. And we're going to do that in the next episode. For now, I'm going to get some materials together, get some supplies, and get ready to try our luck in the research bay. Hopefully we'll be able to find some research machines and work out how to actually research things to make new items, some better items than what we've got now. Although I must admit my trusty crowbar has been doing pretty well. So as always, if you like this episode, please subscribe. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you're enjoying this. I know I am. This game is a lot more story-driven and atmospheric than Project Zomboid. I've said that before, but it really stands true for this game. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we find in the research bay, and also the mechanics of this game, how to craft things, how to research. I'm really excited to see what the really cool stuff that we can make. So hopefully you'll join me then for the next episode. And until next time, Skill Incarnate out.